Canucks and the CFL. Hughes Sports Podcast. We're taking the lead, analyzing the games from the rink to the field, from the ice to the turf. We'll break it down, discussing every win and every loss in town. We'll talk about the Canucks and the Lions. We are your irrational
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 147 of the Hughes Sports Podcast. I am your host, Jake Hughes, alongside the old man. Old man, how the hell are you doing today?
I am so freaking good. It amazes me. I'm that good.
Well, yeah, but you're on base. Like, this is the last thing you're doing before vacation. So,
Well,
another vacation, I might add.
Because people will, as they watch this, I'm actually going to be probably sitting beside that guy there. Oh, look, I pointed the right way.
You pointed the right way. Look at you go. I also heard in your other endeavor, I got a shout out last night.
Because I pointed the wrong way.
You pointed the wrong way completely.
Completely. Yes, tomorrow we're heading up to Calgary. We're going to spend the evening with you and your lovely wife and hang out for dinner. Yeah. And then Thursday, we're going to try to go to the zoo. They have the penguin walk at the zoo, but if it's above +5, they don't do the penguin walk.
It's not looking good for you then.
No. So if we don't do that, we'll probably head out to Banff-a-Fa on Thursday for the day and hang around Banff-a-Fa.
Then you're heading on vacation on Friday.
Then we head out first thing Friday morning and we're gone for a month.
But you'll only miss 1 week of show, more than likely.
More than likely, as long as I have good Wi-Fi, and I think I should. I mean, I'm staying at a VRBO. Most of the time, especially in America, their Wi-Fi should be pretty good.
Should be more than fine.
Yeah.
More than fine. But let's get into it. Some irrational fan talk about the CFL, BC Lions, and maybe sprinkle in some Olympic talk here. Let's start with the CFL because it feels like every time I open up social media, there's all sorts of news, all sorts of signings and people being talked about, and people who I have no clue who they are announcing their retirements. One of the big, someone on Montreal retired.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. One of the bigger names, and something you tweeted out at me about, was that Trey Ford had been released from Edmonton.
Yes.
You eyed him as a potential landing spot for BC, that you thought he'd be a good fit.
Well, yeah, just mainly for the fact that Mazzoli still hasn't signed. So I'm thinking now that with the news that Trey is signing out with Mr. Four Down Bo Levi Mitchell, that the Lions will re-sign Mazzoli if he doesn't retire. They do have another quarterback, that young kid. I can't think of his name.
That I was just looking that up right now because I remember when he signed, it was a pretty big deal.
Yeah. I can't remember his name now. I'm blank. I just looked at it. Chase. Chase
Bryce.
Bryce, yes. So
I don't think that's the guy we're talking about.
Yeah, I think it is.
No, he's older. That guy's older.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think Mazzoli's going to sign another year. We'll get another year out of him. But the big news that we probably hadn't talked about, or did we, with Mr. Rourke re-signing?
We did talk about that last week.
Did we? Okay, I wasn't sure we got into it. The highest paid player in the CFL once again. And I mean, it's a good fit. I think it's a really good fit for Trey to go out and spend another year under a vet. And because everybody keeps saying that this kid deserves a chance. Well, he was given a chance. He was given the chance at Edmonton. Yeah, it was a shitty team. Let's face it. But he was given that chance. Is he a starter?
So in Edmonton this past year, who was the who was the other quarterback there?
Cody Fajardo. I was going to say death taxes.
And Cody Fajardo. And no slight to Cody Fajardo, but could this be? As soon as I saw it, I saw this as great signing for Hamilton. I think a great signing for Trey Ford.
Yes,
because we know Bo has ambitions of either being a coach or an analyst after he's done his playing career, whenever that is in the next couple of years here.
Well, I mean, who knows how long Iron Man could go on? And I call him that because that's what his wife called him.
Yes.
And when we were at the Grey Cup, and I actually had the opportunity to interview him in a scrum, and I asked him, how many more years do you got left? And his wife ran into the picture and said, he's Iron Man. He can go for as long as he wants. He probably gets tired of hearing that question.
100%. But my thought process is that he's been known to understand the game at a higher level than a lot of players.
Oh, of course.
Could he be that mentor that Trey Ford needs to figure it out? Because I think Trey Ford has all the tools. I just don't know if he was ever placed in a position to prove what he could do.
Well, and it's funny because everybody's like, oh, well, he wasn't really given a chance in Edmonton because the team sucked. Yet when Cody took it over and became their number one, they came on strong. Yeah. So was the problem Trey Ford and with an inexperience, or are they really that bad? Time is going to tell. I think this is his next and final shot at being a number one quarterback. And the reason I say that is Bo isn't there forever. So Bo's getting up there in age. As you get older, those injuries linger a little longer. And so don't be surprised if we see Trey start a couple games this year. If for nothing else, then maintenance for Bo.
Yeah. Also, I mean, Hamilton, as per the CFLPA report cards, have some of the best facilities.
Right.
Edmonton, I don't think Edmonton was pretty high up there, higher than BC and Toronto, but it was kind of.
I don't think they were that high up there either. I'm not sure. I can't remember.
Yeah, so
I'd have to go back and look.
But it could be one of those. The facilities, the whatever systems are in place in Hamilton, could just be a better fit for Trey Ford as well.
Very much could be, and it didn't work out. This is another opportunity, and I hope it works out because I love to see Canadian QBs shine in this league. Obviously,
100%.
Right.
Someone else that's big name that is off the board, AJ Oullette re-signs in Saskatchewan.
And it was funny because Rod and I, when I was on the Rod Pettersson show on Friday, we were talking about this, and he re-signed I think that afternoon after the show, of course. But we're like, why wouldn't he try free agency? He has to get paid. I mean, come on. Yeah. And then he does sign, and 3 Down Nation comes out with, AJ Oullette was sweating over late extension with the Riders. So we got to remember, and it's hard for fans, and we're still fans. It's hard for fans to remember these guys run a business. When I say these guys, each player has their own business. That check goes to a business, and they got to get paid. That window to get paid is very, very short. You come into the league, you get bare minimum. If you're good enough, you climb that bracket where AJ now is, and he's like the highest paid running back in the league for a very short period of time. You got to take advantage of that. I'm surprised he didn't try free agency. That just shows Riders have something special happening in there. If they're able to hold on basically to the core. I mean, I live in Saskatchewan now, as most people know, and people are losing their minds about all the free agents that are being poached, and that's their word, poached from the Riders. And my answer is always the same.
But
if you win the Grey Cup, every team's looking at what you're doing and what players you have on free agency, because obviously you're a good team. You won the Grey Cup.
Yeah, but it's also like looking at their roster and all their recent signings. Who has been poached this year? Virtually no one. Like, I saw one of their, I think, can't remember his name, went down to the NFL for a tryout.
Yes.
But other than that, I don't think there's been that much movement out of Saskatchewan this year, has there? Like, don't get me wrong, there's always moving pieces.
Yes.
But of the core pieces, especially for the offense, I don't think you have a lot of movement.
No, and they've been able to, if you look at it, AJ Allen signed with Ottawa, defensive lineman with more consonants than vowels. Like,
yeah.
If you kind of go down, I guess Malik Carney signed in Edmonton. Everybody else they've extended.
Yeah.
Like, there's not that many.
Especially
Tommy Neal was signed by Winnipeg. CJ Rivas was signed in Ottawa. So really, it wasn't that bad. Like, it's not like it was horrible.
Well, and like you said, for a team that just won the Grey Cup, like the quote that got me here from Oullette about resigning was, "I love Coach Mace. The coaching staff's awesome. The whole locker room is amazing. But the bond that me and Trevor have developed over the 2 years was a big reason to sign back."
You betcha. And you could see it, that they have that, whatever that chemistry, that thing.
And it's not just on the field. You saw it when they were talking, both of them talking about each other. We saw in person when we were at the media day for Grey Cup. The respect and love for each other that they have is something that I think all teams should strive for. Like, if you have a handful of people that care about each other, and are willing to like sweat out and say, "Oh yeah, I was sweating to get that deal done because I wanted to continue to play, not just for Mace and the boys, but specifically for Trevor Harris." That's what every organization should be striving for.
Yes. Another one that kind of surprised me from the Riders that they've just released was Brett Lawler, their kicker.
Yeah.
Inconsistent year, yes. But talk about a guy that is just a good guy. I've never met him. I've never talked to him, but I'll tell you why he's a good guy. He knew he was being let go. The day before it became public, he had a charity event through the Riders to attend. He knew he was being let go the next day, and he still went to the charity event.
Yeah.
That's a good guy. Most would go, see you later. Sorry, I can't make it. That guy's got something. So it's going to be interesting to see where he lands.
Well, and he's older, is he not?
How old is Brett Lawler? I don't think he's that old, is he?
He's 35.
Yeah, that's not old for a kicker.
No, but if you're 35 and you're already I want to look this up. Did Louis Pasaglia ever have an inconsistent year like that? Because I would say no. No,
I mean, did he have years that were better than others? Of course he did, but he was never inconsistent.
Yeah,
I bet you go through his career and you look at his percentages, and that's really all you can look at for a kicker. And they're going to be in that 90 and above probably almost every year.
So the only year he was 98 and above was 2000.
Yeah.
For field goals. 63, 64 is kind of his bottom end.
When was that?
63.8% was in 1999.
That's near the end.
1990 was 64.
Oh,
So the
really?
same year. So the same year Brett Lawler was born was one of the worst years of Louis' career. And I'm not including his first year. His first year was 57.1%.
Yeah, and he was probably only kicking a few back then at that point.
28.
Yeah. So I
No,
mean,
sorry, 49.
49. Yeah. So I mean, every kicker, I mean, every player, if you're a professional player, you're going to go through your ups and downs. You're going to have the shitty times. Even like you just look during the season, you're going to have times where you're just not playing. It's inevitable. So it'll be interesting. He will play again. It'll be interesting because we re-signed or we extended, I think, 2 years for Sean. So I doubt we'll be bringing Lauther in. Edmonton, I think, is pretty strong. Winnipeg, strong. I don't know. Maybe Ottawa.
But who else? Like, is there another kicker, like field goal kicker, who's free agent? You know what I mean? Who hasn't been signed yet? That Saskatchewan's working with. You know what I mean? Like there's options that could open up an availability is what I'm saying.
Very well could be. Yeah. I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Because I don't think Saskatchewan would let Lauther go unless they have an in-house replacement ready to go or have someone lined up ready to go.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just going through.
Also, what happened in 1988?
Why?
Louis only attempted 20 field goals.
I think he was hurt.
And 31 extra points, which the extra points is kind of on par for the average.
Yeah, I think he was hurt, and we had somebody. Is that when White year was that?
1988. That was not White.
It wouldn't have been White. Who would have come in?
No, there's just not a lot. There, Tony Martino kicked 11. Bernie Ruoff kicked 9. So clearly he was injured because there was 22 extra points and 21 field goal attempts. Yeah,
so he was probably just doing extra points at that point.
But still, that's like it's looking at the stats. It's just a huge it's 66 field goal attempts, 51 the year prior, 51 the year after. But 20 is just such a low number. I don't know well, I have to figure that out.
So
but speaking about
just because we had talked about it, there is no kicker on the free agency list. The only kicker that was available on the free agency list, and I'm trying to find him again, was Sergio Castillo from Winnipeg, and they've extended him.
Yeah. So again, Saskatchewan must have an in-house replacement, but also means, is there a spot for Lauther?
Well, and that's the thing. Like, where does he end up? Who knows? It's going to be an interesting next few months.
Could he end up in the XFL?
Sure.
Right? I don't know anything what's going on in the XFL. I still think we should probably start looking into them in a couple of years because then we'll know what's happening in the inevitable merge of the leagues. But
no, we're not Americanizing this game. Stop with your rumors.
I have said it.
Look what happened last time you put out a rumor.
Well, that was confirmed fact. That wasn't rumor, nor was it innuendo. But in speaking about, we're just moving on past that. Speaking about the BC Lions here, talking about Louis Passaglio, not a lot happening around the BC Lions when it comes to free agency. Lots of people kind of moving away from the team, but not a lot of signings, not a lot of movement. Like obviously the big signing or extension of Rourke.
Yes.
But is there anything big else that could be happening?
Not really. And I mentioned this on the Rod show, and it was actually kind of a funny little meme he made because I think I said something about Winnipeg needs to do some, I forget the word I used. And then we talked about the Lions, and I said, they don't need a lot of blank. And he made that as a meme, and I can't remember what word I used, but it was quite funny. But they don't need a lot of changes. They've been able to hold their core. We're talking the BC Lions, hold that core together. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that when you have a talent like Rourke, people want to play around him. It's just a fact. You look at any great quarterback, and I don't care if you go down to the NFL, CFL, go back 20 years, 100 years, whatever. When a team has a great quarterback, players want to stay on that team. And I think that's what you're seeing in BC. We've rebuilt. I mean, we haven't been to the big show since 2011. So one game away, one quarter, 5 minutes away. Last year. Let's see what they do this year. I have high expectations. Looking at the schedule the other day, of course, I have a lot of time in my hands now that I'm retired. So when I have my downtimes, a lot of times I'll just go down the rabbit hole, and I literally called it 15-3 for this year.
All right.
I think it's really, really possible.
Well, I think the biggest upgrades we need are on the O-line. Based off of last year, just need a little bit more time for Rourke to be able to get that ball out.
Well, he has more time because he's got the 35-second clock now. Oh,
what?
He's got more time because he's got the 35 or the.
That's nothing to do with once the ball snaps. However, I'm going to say this on the air. We're just. You're on something today.
You know what I'm on? The lack of beer. I drove by the brewery twice this afternoon.
What, you drove by the brewery twice? You didn't stop once?
Isn't that amazing? I went, I smell beer. But I didn't stop. That's what's happened.
That's so what you're saying is the problem is you're too coherent for the show.
There's too much blood in my alcohol system, Jake.
I had somewhere else I was going, and you completely derailed me.
So you were talking about the offensive line, and Rourke needed more time, and I said he has more time because he's got this longer play clock.
Right. What I was going to say was digress off of that and say, as you're taking off here for out of the country for all of February. Once you're back, we should start reaching out to at least one member of the play-by-play teams for each.
Oh yeah,
team.
Do it again.
And do interviews again. Because last year we came up with that idea a bit too late to try to get everyone in. But I think this year we should be able to have enough time to get that done.
Well, yeah, because we still got. Training camp doesn't start till May.
Yeah.
So
if realistic, if we start in April, we'll have April, May, and season starts in,
right.
Depending on when everyone's free,
April.
Right?
Because then May starts training camp, right? So everybody's going to be busy.
I think that's when we want people, though, because then we'll know where all the moves are.
True enough. Yeah.
Right. So, but something to keep an eye and ear towards for the show as we kind of ramp up our CFL coverage again every year, trying to make the league better and prosperous for everyone involved.
We might even be able to get a sponsor for that one. Maybe a water company might want to sponsor us for the CFL.
We'll see. We can reach out to that water company.
CFL,
highly unlikely.
Our CFL report brought to you by Blank Water Company.
Maybe.
Do you have private? Anyways, carry
on. Anything else in the world of the CFL you want to talk about before we jump into the world of hockey?
Yeah. We are hopefully going to go up to the West Combine up in Edmonton in March, I think it is.
Yes,
the end of March. I'm just waiting to hear back from the league, make sure we got our press credentials. I can't see why we wouldn't, but you never know. So that's going to be big. That's going to be really cool. We'll get some interviews with players that are up and coming from the Canadian University. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. It's always confusing to me, the fact that there's two drafts in the CFL. It hurts my brain.
They don't even have an NFL. They don't have an American draft. They don't have that. They're not bringing it in. They talked about it, but it's
but they have their CFL draft and then they have their global draft.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
They have two drafts. In all reality, the thing being brought forward is bringing in a third draft
that would be completely useless.
Well, I don't think it'd be completely useless because in only one aspect. In terms of signing players, 100% zero use. But in terms of trying to get a college fan to tune into something that's CFL related and try to sell our game.
Yeah.
But that would entail the CFL and TSN or whoever the media partner is to actually promote things and put things on the air. You've got 5 or 6 TSN channels. Let's all watch old curling instead of or American football instead of anything else.
Yeah, I'd like to see is one of the TSN channels go to a all podcast during the day.
So I've done research and digging into this because it's always bugged me that the TSN channels are all 1 through 5, and then it's like 3 of them are playing the same things.
Yes.
They label them 1 through 5 to differentiate themselves from SportsCenter or Sportsnet. Sorry, Sportsnet has it East, West, Ontario,
yes,
Pacific, whatever, and Sportsnet 1 and 360. TSN are all regionalized as well. They just use a number system rather than telling you what's regional.
Yes.
So if they did that, they would have to come out with a new channel in theory to come out with that. Otherwise, they have to prove to the CRTC that it's more relevant to these regions than these regions.
Or just say TSN 5 is now TSN National.
Do you know how fickle the CRTC is on things like that?
Yeah, that's just
plus also they have regional NHL deals that they need to allow. Like I know TSN.
That's why I say daytime. Just do it during the daytime. Hell, it's the same as Game Plus Television Network, which carries the Rod Pettersson show. They have a contract with pickleball. Pickleball.
It's a huge sport.
It's a professional pickleball.
Pickleball is huge.
So they will preempt Rod Pettersson show to bring you pickleball. So they can put them on for 6 hours during the day. Pick our show. 1 hour. We'll give it to them for cheap. Come on. We wouldn't charge them a lot.
I wouldn't charge them anything.
Yes, shut up.
If it was up to me, charge you nothing. But you then don't get to tell me what I can do or can't do.
No, they can still tell you what to do. We couldn't swear.
And then you're paying me.
We couldn't swear.
That's fine. No, I'm not talking. No, I'm talking like you can't talk about this. You can't talk about that.
Oh, we would just. That's why they would love us.
But also the like you say TSN sports, like both Bell and Rogers, the two giant companies here who own everything telecommunications wise in Canada, both own radio stations. Who the radio stations then have radio shows that they then convert to podcasts because their podcast gets more play than listens do.
Exactly.
So it's baffling to me that like in Calgary, because I live in Calgary. This is what I know. I've been here for ever.
20 plus years.
Unless there's a Flames game on, after 10 p.m., it converts to CBS Radio or Fox Sports Radio or whoever they signed their newest deal with for.
Well, and a lot of it, even during the day, is picked up out of Toronto.
Yeah, because the problem is they don't want to pay people to make content anymore.
They could pay us little.
Yeah, you know how little you would have to pay us for us to say. It's the Hughes Sports Podcast on Sportsnet 650 or on TSN 5.
Cover the cost of the show, so I'm not going broke.
Literally do that.
I'm happy.
Do that and allow us to sell ads. Like it's simple.
Too funny. Well, we just talked 30 minutes about the CFL.
In the middle of the offseason? No, tell TSN it ain't so.
Oh, it's amazing how that happens.
Also, I wearing my BC Lions shirt today.
I did
Wore
see
my
that.
other BC Lions shirt yesterday.
Nice.
I've had more conversation about the CFL wearing shirts
Yes.
in the offseason than I do during the regular season of CFL.
I'm telling you. We lost Jake. Jake totally left us. Right in the middle of the freaking show. This is what I got to put up with, folks. He just decides he's going.
That was weird. I literally it said, oops, reconnecting, and I came back in like 30 seconds.
That was bizarre.
Bizarre. But let's talk.
Do we have to?
Well, do we want to? No, let's start on a low point when we talk about hockey, and move up from there.
Did you hear about the Olympics? Did you hear about the U.S. Olympics?
No, we'll get to the Olympics here in a little bit. We'll talk about.
Yeah, you brought it up.
We'll talk about the Olympic ice hockey games in a little bit.
No, it's not even about the ice hockey games. It's about the Olympics, the U.S. Olympics. They had a place that all their athletes would go to, and originally it was labeled the Ice Palace, and now they've changed it to the Winter Palace. I can't make this shit up. It's real.
So yes, we will be talking about the Olympic Ice Palace later. But let's talk about your lowly Canucks. Since we were last on the air, have gone. Did we win one? We won one.
Yes, we did.
Since the last time we were on the air, we beat the Ducks 2-0. We got a point out of that Maple Leafs game, which Tolopilo, let me tell you, I don't think is the goalie of the future, because I think he's the goalie of now, which is really unfortunate.
And he's going to win us some games, which really pisses me off.
Well, the nice thing is we still have Kevin Lankinen.
Yes.
Right? We throw him in for a 6-2 loss.
It's good.
It's fine. Maybe he'll get fed up and want to leave. We're okay with that. I don't think we mentioned this, but we are recording this on the Tuesday beforehand. So
yeah, we did. Remember I said
no, we never, to be fair, you mentioned that when this was airing, you were going to be somewhere else.
Oh, yes.
We never said what day we were recording this.
Okay, there you go.
So tomorrow, right after the show goes live or wraps up, the Canucks are taking on the Golden Knights.
There's a guaranteed loss. Yes.
That will be the last game before the roster freeze happens at midnight on Wednesday night.
Yes.
For the Olympic break. As of right now, the reporting around the team is that they're standing pat. There was a lot of rumors and innuendo and talking that the Canucks would be making a move or want to make a move before then. As if Marco Rossi comes back, there'll be a lot of roster gymnastics that need to happen to be able to figure out cap space and roster spots and everything like that.
Yes.
But if the Canucks don't make a move before midnight on Wednesday, do you think it's a problem?
No, because we still have how much time after I think it's 2 weeks. 3 weeks after.
A week and 3 days.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah.
It's going to be a busy week in 3 days, isn't it?
Yeah. That's why it's like, I'm sure it'd be nice to get something done until we get past the 6th.
Unless it's already done and just not been announced, it's not going to happen.
I'm not even saying a big trade. I'm saying even something small, like moving out Drew O'Connor for a third round pick.
Why? Why do you have to put out these ridiculous? You just said it Drew O'Connor for a third round. No, we don't want to get rid of Drew. You stop it with you get rid of Drew.
Why would we not want to get rid of? Why would we want? Him. Why? Look, this is no. This is the core problem. This is the core problem of every rebuild. Oh, well, we don't want to trade Kiefer Sherwood because he's really good and we really like him. Why can't we trade insert player who's doing absolutely nothing? I mean, Evander Kane. I mean, yeah, the players that are good that we like, they're the ones who are probably going to be leaving. Every player that you have some inclination towards liking is 90% out the door.
So, damn, I didn't know this was possible.
What?
Well, when you guys were younger, you being my kids,
Yes.
I could have traded you.
No, that's not built into the parenting CBA. There's a no return clause on those for the most part. For the most part.
I wanted to rebuild.
We were talking kind of off the air. What are you? There's 26 games remaining, including the one tonight against the Golden Noodles. What are your expectations for the remaining 26 games for this team, including roster movement, trades, everything like that?
Okay, well, pretty positive. I think we're going to rebuild around EP40. I just have that feeling.
So do you think he's going to be the core piece?
And the main reason being is to trade him now, we're not going to get the return that we would hope for. Here was his expectation. Here's his play rate now. And you can't see my hand. So expectation compared to actual, quite a big gap. That leaves a lot of unused revenue that we spent on this kid. So I guess my question is, do we hold on to him, build the team around him and a Gavin McKenna when we get him? I'm confident we're going to get Gavin McKenna. Even though you freaking jerks, you and that other sea of red slime ball on Twitter. Yes, I know you watch our show. Ugh. If you put out one more tweet with Gavin McKenna in a Flames uniform, sacrilegious. Anyway, I went down the rabbit hole with the 3. I still want Gavin. Yes, the other guy, the other center, Stenberg would be a good choice as well. Even the right-hand defenseman, I mean, they're rare. So either one of the 3 will be a great get for the Canucks. Let's face it.
Yeah.
With the Canuck luck, that would be a great get for the Canucks. But let's go back to what I was saying. We build this team around a Gavin McKenna and an EP40. And who knows, maybe that will kind of give EP40 the confidence he needs.
Well, so my issue with it is if you're building around Elias Pettersson, he's 27 already.
Yeah.
So in 4 or 5 years, he's 32, 33. And he's well on the back end.
Making the Stanley Cup.
And he's well on the back half of his career.
So we win the
making
cup.
Making $11.6 million.
He gets to raise the cup as a Vancouver Canuck and then retire. How cool would that be?
Personally, I mean, he's got all the say in the world on it. He's got a no movement clause.
That already kicked in the summer.
Yeah. I don't see him being a core piece in the rebuild. Obviously, you can't be trading everyone. Obviously, you need veteran players to stick around. The problem is Elias Pettersson, EP40, is he the type of leader you want in that room to create a new environment around?
Does he have to be a leader? And that's the thing. I'm not saying he's going to be your captain, but I am going to say he could be your number 1 or 2.
But if you're if you're going full scorched earth rebuild, which I think this organization is finally accepting that they need to do, is if you're not keeping around leaders, why are you keeping them around?
But
other than you sign them to ridiculously long deals with no movement clauses.
And you're going to leave so much capital on the table because of that, because if you are going to trade him and you come out and say he's up for grabs, these are the he gives you a list of 10 teams, because usually that's the way it works, 5 or 10. I can't remember.
Well, no, his is a no movement clause, so he will be involved every step of the way.
Well, that's what I mean, but he could give like 5 teams. I will only go to these 5 teams. That really handcuffs you, and that's going to cut down on your capital of return. So that's why I'm saying, why not just keep him? He's a great player. Let's face it.
He's a good
player. Had a shitty 2 years, but so is this team.
I wouldn't say last year was shitty. I think we missed out on the playoffs by like 3 games.
We've been shitty since 2012.
No, I mean, we did make a playoff, a second round appearance twice.
Dude, I'm 61. I don't have another 20 years to go through this.
So, to me, if you're keeping Elias Pettersson, then you have to find a way to move Brock.
Yeah.
You've got to find a way to move DeBrusque, more than likely.
Yes.
And that means you're not keeping Connor Garland.
No.
I personally would much rather see them keep Connor Garland and one of Besser and take a loss on Elias Pettersson on EP40.
But you're going to have to retain salary. It's just going to cost us so much.
Oh, no, it's 5.8 $5.8 million in if you were to have to retain 50%.
Yeah.
Obviously, again, it handcuffs you where he can go, where he would be willing to go.
If he's willing to go, he might just say no. You can't trade me.
Which 100%. That's on ownership, not ownership, management at that point.
Well, ownership, because they allowed it.
Well, no, I don't blame ownership for that one.
You guaranteed every deal goes through this freaking ownership. They don't.
No, but
those management people, they don't go pee without asking for permission.
So I'm glad you brought the conversation around to this, because this is something I want to talk about. When will there ever be onus from or accountability from Patrick Elvine and Jim Rutherford? Because according to Jim Rutherford now, they knew a year and a half ago that Quinn probably wasn't looking to sign a new deal.
Yeah.
They then went out and signed Elias Pettersson to a long-term contract, signed Brock Besser to a long-term contract, Jake DeBrusque to a long-term contract, Connor Garland to a long-term contract. Both Demko and Lankinen to long-term contracts.
But why did they do that? They were trying to convince Hughes to stay. That's what that was about.
But if you had 18 months of knowledge, saying probably not, okay, well, maybe you go to him and say, hey, like, if this was our plan, would that change your mind? If he's like, no, probably not. Okay, then let's start this rebuild 18 months ago.
Well, they should have started it like years ago.
They should have started it 20 plus years ago, but not 15 years ago.
We wouldn't be in this position, or we might have won a cup and now been in this position. But
like there's so many missteps from this management group. And I mean, we went through 10 years of Jim Benning mismanagement. So I don't think it shows just how inept this management has been through this process.
How many times can you change coaches, change management teams, and still blame the management team? I'm not
saying fire them. I'm saying, when are they going to come out and say, look, we take accountability. We put ourselves in this mess. Because for the last however long they've been around, 3 years, 4 years now, they've been around. It's been, well, we were really hand struck by last management's Okay, well now all of the people you can't get rid of that you probably want to are your own doing.
Well, and now can we go back and say maybe it wasn't betting? Maybe these guys are being handcuffed from above. Sooner or later, you got to look up.
Hunter,
it doesn't matter what business you're in. If you're losing constantly, if you're not making sales targets, if you're not selling enough cars, sooner or later, you got to stop looking at the people on the ice.
Yep.
And then you go to management. I'm like, well, we've changed management, and we were saying betting was 4 or 5. How long was betting around?
10 plus years.
10 years, and he screwed things up. Now we have these guys here for 4 or 5 years, and they're screwing things up. Is there another team in the NHL that you can say two different over the last 15 years? Management teams have sucked ass.
Calgary Flames.
Now, what are the Calgary Flames?
Sorry. I also want to add in the former Phoenix Coyotes.
Yeah. 3 perfect examples. That's enough. So, what do the Canucks, the Flames, and the Coyotes have in common?
Idiots for owners.
We got to look at the top. It's the ownership issue in the city, and until we get that fixed, Vancouver is going to be struggling and struggling and struggling. You can see it with the Flames. It's the same thing.
Yep.
They literally had to deal with Toronto. And the ownership said, no, I don't like that GM. He did us bad.
Yeah, so, here are my feelings by quitting.
Bad. No, we're not dealing with it. Like, come on. Like, at some point, you got to look up and blame the ownership. I get what you're saying with they've got to take responsibility because they're being handcuffed. So if they are, maybe they should just effing quit and say, we can't deal with this owner. You guys have an issue.
We've already had that happen with Linden. Like, it's happened once. It's like the fact that it's a multiple. If it is again,
didn't get blamed for that. It was.
Oh no! That is revisionist history. No. That is 100% on ownership.
Was it okay? I'll trust you. I don't remember it that well, so I'll trust you.
Yeah, it was literally ownership went. Well, Benning said we could do it in 2 years, and you're saying we need to rebuild. We're gonna go with Team Benning and future endeavor Linden.
Jesus. What if we can bring Linden back? Maybe he'll buy the team.
I don't think he's got enough money. And in all honesty, like the thing you messaged me and I wanted to bring it up, but I actually wanted to save it here for the show. Is that supposedly there's a offer on the table for the Seahawks.
I don't know if there's an offer on the table. The team will be put up for sale after the Grey Cup. They were just fined. The Seahawks were just fined by the NFL $25 million for not selling the team early enough.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
How can... Sorry, can you say that again? Just repeat that for me for a second.
The NFL fined the Seahawks for not selling the team quick enough. Now, what's happened is 5 years ago, the owner of the Seahawks passed away, and it went into his estate. The owner's sister has been in charge of trying to sell the team and other assets this guy had.
Yeah, everything that's in the estate.
Yes. I'm going to call her a shrewd businesswoman. I think she said, well, you know what? If we sell now, we're going to sell low because the Seahawks weren't very good 5 years ago.
Yeah.
All of a sudden now.
I mean, they're playing in the Super Bowl.
$9 billion. I've heard anywhere from $6 to $9 billion.
So hearing those numbers, my first thought was, holy shit, NFL teams are worth so much more than NHL teams. My second thought was there needs to be a sale of a Western Canadian team.
Yep.
That the Aquilinis can look at and say, well, shit, this team is worth this much. Well, they don't have the location in Vancouver, the land that's associated with the team, honestly, and I mean no disrespect to Edmonton, Calgary, and Winnipeg, but they don't have the fan base that Vancouver has.
Yes.
If they're getting $1 billion to $1.5 billion, well, maybe we can fucking sell this team for $3 billion. And I honestly think it will take that for them to open their eyes and realize, shit, we're bleeding money on this because we're trying to bootstrap it. Why not just sell it to someone who's maybe will run it properly?
Oh, from your mouth to the hockey god's ears, buddy.
Talking about hockey gods, let's talk about it. The Olympics start this week. And there is a Canadian who made the ice at both rinks.
Yes.
He has confirmed that there is no loony underneath the ice. I don't believe him. I also would not be surprised if there's like sawdust and like pieces of screws and scrap metal underneath the ice, because the Olympics start this week. The arena's ready to go. They the hockey rink's ready to go, but nothing really else is.
Well,
everything's bare minimum.
It's funny. Angela's son, Curtis, he's so funny when he starts talking about Europe, and he's like, I don't get it. All these people want to go to Europe to see old buildings. They had 12 years to build a new rink, and they couldn't do it. No wonder they have old buildings.
Everything's done. The tests have all gone well.
When you say everything's done, you're misleading our audience. The rink is done.
Like the rink is done, yes.
The ice.
The ice surface is done. The seats are done.
Well, but only like a portion of. They were supposed to be 15,000. They were like 12.
Okay, 3,000 different. That's not a huge. To me, who cares? 3,000.
I guarantee you will not see a lot of camera shots from the outside of the building.
No, because it's not done.
It's got tarps.
There's tarps all throughout the exterior. There's tarps throughout certain portions of the interior. There are working bathrooms. However,
concessions might not be up to standard.
But and I say this like knowing full well that hockey is probably the only thing I'll watch this Olympics for the most part.
Yeah.
Is this like how we would treat bobsled in Canada? It's like, yeah, it's at the Olympics and we'll figure everything out. And
except, that bobsledding track in Calgary that was built in 1988 and still is considered one of the best bobsledding tracks.
When was it built?
1988. Well,
precisely.
But it is still considered one of the best bobsledding tracks.
Because, yes, Calgary is an outlier because it's also where everyone comes to train.
Right? So to say we wouldn't do that in Canada, no,
I grabbed a random fucking sport that like 3 people care about in the world.
In
our part of the world,
quality here in Canada,
except for transit. We could improve that. Like the Italians in Italy, you'll be able to get everywhere perfectly fine. Stadium not up to par. Transit fantastic. Come to Canada. Facilities fantastic. Getting places, oh no, that costs a lot of money. Good luck.
Yeah, there you go.
The women open up the Team Canada's Olympic Games on what day was that? I had it up here.
No, I didn't even look.
On February 12th, so Thursday at 8:40 a.m. Mountain Time. That's 7:40 a.m. Pacific Time. Okay, we gotta talk about this. I understand that this is like the World's Games, and we need to determine. There's two pathways here. One. Oh, sorry, that's the men's game. Sorry, the woman is the 5th. That's what I thought. I thought it was this week, the 5th. Okay. So in 2 days, Thursday, tomorrow, when you're listening to this.
Yes. And what already have happened?
No, when you're listening to this, it's tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I see what you're saying. So it's tomorrow.
Yes.
Because they're listening, so it's tomorrow.
Correct.
Okay. Thursday.
Look, we need to do one of two things. Either
what do we need to do?
One, mandatory 2-week vacation during the Olympics for all Canadians.
Oh.
Right? Government money goes out. We don't pay athletes, so we might as well use that money for other things.
We know somebody who took, it still does take holidays every Olympics. For 2 weeks every Olympics.
So my second option, which is probably way more feasible, is that the workday, much like in Europe for like lunchtime, we just shut down everything for the 3 hours it takes to play a hockey game. So like on for every Canadian hockey game in the Olympics. So like the women's game, it's February 5th at 1:10 p.m. So noon, 12:10 noon in Pacific time. We just shut down for 3 hours from noon until 3 Pacific time. Sorry, we're not available. There's hockey on.
You're hilarious.
I don't know how to. I'm still new at this job that I just started. I'm only a month in. How am I gonna have to tell them? Be like, look, I understand. I'm still gonna work, but there's going to be a hockey game on my phone every other day for the next 2 weeks, and there's not really a lot that you can do about it.
You can fire me.
Pay me out my contract. It's fine. I'll be okay with that. It's just,
Oh my goodness.
Like either that or we just media blackout. You don't allow any postings on social media. Like not like you're not allowed to post. You can post. It's just blacked out. No one will see it. You post to the ether. No one cares.
Well,
so that way you can watch it in the evening when everyone's home.
Well, it's even going to be worse for the first Canada game for the men's hockey because it's on your birthday, February the 11th.
Nope.
And it's going to be...
it's February 12th at 8:40 a.m.
I've got... Oh, yeah, it's February 12th. Thank you.
You're welcome.
At 8:40 Alberta time.
Yep.
So would you have even started work yet?
Yep, I started between 8 and 8:30 every day. So
okay.
I would literally I'll be sitting there reading through my emails, cup of coffee in my hands.
Did you see that? I feel like I'm in a glass cage because people keep walking by my window. It's really distracting.
So you were saying it's the worst because it's the day after my birthday at 8:40 a.m.
You'll be probably hungover, and it's like the rate at the start of work. Oh, there they go again. It's these people. They just keep walking back and forth.
Yeah, like if it was 12 hours later, I mean, ideal. That'd be the ideal time to have hockey games on. However, at least try to schedule them for somewhat primetime Canada. Like, you're not even trying here. You've got a game on at 1:10 p.m. and it's Latvia versus the United States. That's going to be a fun game to watch. Or you have Czech Republic, which first off, Google, it's Czechia now, versus Canada. Which, don't get me wrong, Czechia is not at the level they are at the Olympics as they are at the World Juniors. However, I know there's going to be a lot of Canadians who are watching that just wanting us to like dominate and destroy them after knocking us out 3 years in a row at the World Juniors. And you're putting that game on at 7:40 a.m. for Pacific and 10:40 for Eastern. Like, dude, what are we doing here?
Do you not remember getting up like in the middle of the morning, middle of the night to watch these games?
The Sochi Olympics.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what? I would much rather that. Do not schedule it. Like, put the game on at 3:00 in the morning so I can go to bed. I can come home from work, eat, go to bed, wake up at 3:00 in the morning. Like, it's.
You okay, buddy?
No.
You need a hug.
No, I need to talk to Mr. Olympics.
Mr. Olympics.
I'm assuming his name's Dan or like Estefan or something. Mr. Estefan Olympics. We need to have a discussion. You can come on the podcast anytime. We need to have a conversation about these timings because this is a fucking disaster.
Oh, you're funny.
You
know what the cool part is? I'm going to be in America for most of these games, for all of these games.
Gross.
And I'll be able to go sit at a sports bar in the middle of the afternoon and watch these games, or the morning.
Middle of the afternoon. Well, I guess if
afternoon games.
If you're and also if you're in Eastern time zone, then yes.
No, I'm still in Central.
You're Central, okay. Like there's Switzerland versus France on at 4:10 a.m. Put the Canada game on then.
Oh, you're killing me.
One thing we want to talk about before we wrap up the show, I know we're going a little bit long, was the article I sent you earlier today.
Oh, my goodness.
Connor McDavid's letter in the Players Tribune, and I'm going to pull it up here. What were your thoughts on it?
Probably the most